No, quilts are made in the factory by robots. Hi everyone! I hope you had a nice holiday and you are recharged and feeling full of yummy food and full of family. Let's just do this. I have some plans for this year, but first I kind of wanted to show off a couple of fun little things that I've got going on that I finished up. This is my Good Vibes Only hoop that I did. Isn't it hilarious? I love it. This is 28 count even weave, I guess. And I did this pattern 1/1. Now, that was my first time doing 1/1. And on linen, I kind of did a drawn thread, kind of frayed looking edge that I cut and kind of made it look a little bit random. And then I stitched it, that open chain stitch is actually holding it to a scrap of Aida that I had laying around. So, and then I cinched the Aida with a simple gathering stitch to the back, and I just hang it on the wall just like that. I will link to this pattern down below, and I think it turned out really cute. It took me like 2 sittings and I was done, and that was 1/1. 1/1, believe it or not, is easier for me than 2/2 on linen, because wait right here. Remember the brain? This is the same exact linen from the same roll, and it's 2/2. But it's a lot harder for me because of the counting and the spaces and stuff. You've heard me talk about this before. Me and counting, we don't always get along. So, yeah, I mean, it's turning out fine. I saw this on, I think I might have shown this to you last time or time before or something. Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow. I saw Andrea at Stitching Shadows. She's been working on this one for quite some time now. Not that I'm being disparaging. I just mean that she's been working on it really hard. And it's a big pattern. On 40 count linen, it works out to 18.5 inches by 13 7/8 inches. So, and that stitch count is 371 wide by 278 high. So I mean, it's big, right? Even on a finer linen, it's big. So my options were either to break it up into like little ornaments or something, or just little vignettes and hang them like in a row maybe or something if I stitched it on 14 count, or even something crazier like 11 or something, which I've never done, but you could do, because if you tried stitching this all in one big thing on like 14 count, you'd have a pattern that's like huge. So I decided, okay, I'm gonna be a little bit insane, just a little. And I'm going to use the called for colors, which is rare for me, and the called for linen. So getting up this project was not cheap. Holy crap. With the exchange rate being what it is, and Canada Post being on strike, that was a drag because I had to wait for the linen forever. But it finally got here. Okay, first I went to my L&S and I got all of the floss required. Okay, all of it. These are all brand new skeins that I have bobbinated in the called for, you know, colors. It takes up 2 rings. Like, that's how many colors there are. It's ridiculous. But they're cool. I like them. And I ordered the called for linen from Picture This Plus and everything. It's a Legacy linen, 40 count. It's Figart. So it's, you know, it's legit. But because this pattern is so big that even though this is 40 count, I still had to order a great big cut. I couldn't use a fat quarter. It would be too small. I mean, I probably could have gotten away with a fat quarter, but I wouldn't have been able to make any mistakes with placement. Like, at all. There would have been like 0 forgiveness factor. So, given that this is a crazy intense pattern in a very, very, very fine 40 count, I wanted to be as kind to myself as possible. So I got the bigger cut. Having said that, it was expensive in Canadian. Holy crap. With postage and everything, it costs like $100 for this fabric. Just for this fabric alone. It cost me about $50 in floss as well, and the pattern was $15, I believe, plus a bit of postage because it's a physical pattern that I ordered on Etsy. So yeah, not a cheap project. Not cheap at all. But it'll give me something to work on, that's for darn sure. Another thing that I was talking about with Andrea from Stitching Shadows again, was the fact that she's been obsessed with making project bags and very hard on herself about not being up to her standard in bag making. And I just have to put it out there that bag making is hard, especially if you're going to do zippers and stuff like that. I have sewn garments and things with zippers, and they're a pain in the neck. I hate sewing garments. That's why I don't do it. I don't like all of that. Anyway, I decided that I would dive into some of my many, many quilt kits. Holy, I forgot just how many I have. Back in the day when it was Craftsy and not Blueprint like it is now, I had like every single quilting class that was applicable to me in any possible way, and I used to buy lots of quilt kits whenever I could, which was, I used to make it happen. I used to go without like bread and so that I could buy quilt fabric. Isn't that absurd? Yes, it's absurd. Anyway, I'm going to dive into this next project for quilting, I think. See, the problem with quilts, they take a lot of fabric, and this fabric is heavy. There's, you know, it's probably a couple of pounds. Like, it's heavy. I'm not joking. And this doesn't even have the backing fabric. All of this fabric that you see, is for the top. The backing, I did order the backing as well, but it came in its own separate bag in the box. Anyway, this is what the quilt is going to look like. I've had this kit for 3 years, probably. It's a great design. The printout, I printed it myself and the printer was kind of low on ink. But it's a really cool design. It's got like a really vintage style to it, but modernized in the vibrancy of the colors and the fact that it is a color fade, right? So it goes out. My favoriteest Christmas present that I got all year, and that I've probably ever gotten ever in my life, except for the Super Nintendo that I got when I was 10. That was the best. But look, isn't he so awesome? I watched a lot of videos and on how to make these robot lamps. Whew. That is a bright light from here. It's got one of these old Edison style bulbs in it. This one, for some reason, is incandescent. It's the real thing. I didn't intend for that to happen, but the bulb I picked out is actually incandescent. Anyway, I call my robot Alfie. I have another design for a bigger one called Beefy. But yeah, that's what's going on around here right now. Oh, the one thing I can't show you because I don't have any of it yet is the new Caterpillar Cross Stitch sale, which is starting this month in a couple of weeks. But I'm still waiting for my kit to arrive because I went ahead and just bought the kit instead of going to the hassle of finding out what colors I need and what Ada and what or whatever, and going to the store and doing it all myself. I thought, I'll just let Sally do it. So I did that, and she sent it out. I got my email that it was sent just yesterday, I believe. So I'm really happy about that. It's called Seize the Day, and if you've never seen Caterpillar Cross Stitch, go to her Facebook group. Sally's really friendly and knowledgeable, and the people in the group are really friendly too. Yeah, her styles are very, her style is very whimsical, bright, cheerful, kind of happy, just something that you'd like to have on your wall that just looks really pretty. I finished her her last cell, which was called Adventure Awaits, and it is a world map that has just whimsical motifs representing the different countries all over the world. So I have that framed and it's up in my daughter's room, but I will insert a picture, of course. And yeah, that's basically all that's going on right now. It's pretty quiet, pretty peaceful. I hope that you had a great holiday again, and that all your stitching wishes came true, and that you are replete with supplies and projects and all kinds of awesome stuff to keep you busy for, I don't know, a week or so until you have to go to the store and replenish things, because you know how it is, we always need to be replenishing things. So yeah, I will see you all in the next video.